I say that I see the light in all of us. This can only make me some liar, can it not? Just another person trying to hypnotize the rest of us so that he can secure some status for himself. Because that's just about what everybody here who has something to say is trying to do, isn't it? But I am being honest here when I say that I see the light in all of us. So, does this, if it really is true, mean that I am some marvelous, elevated being? Or does it simply mean I am delusional? It's neither of these two options. It is only that I have a good, solid grasp on what is true about reality at the foundational level. What is this knowledge I have a solid understanding of? It is this. Things, physical phenomena, come as a result of truth, not the other way round. Reality is the functioning of truths that cannot not be true, continuing to be true. Our shifting, changing reality is the ongoing interactions of these truths with themselves and each other. Reality is the functioning of truth, and truth in its functioning has no choice but to be sensitive to this functioning, which means it is conscious of this ongoing process. To be real is to be truth in never-ending operation. And this is to be forever sensitive, forever conscious. What I see when I look at you, all of you, any of you, is one who is eternally sensitive, eternally conscious, and only wishing to feel better rather than worse. Because only wishing to feel better rather than worse is the direct and unavoidable result of being inescapably sensitive, unendingly conscious. Each person, each living being I see, first and foremost, I see a being who is, through no fault of their own, sensitive, conscious, and only wishing to feel better rather than worse. There you go. There you have it. That is where I am coming from. Because I cannot unknow this, and I don't want to. Is there anything here that marks me out as unattainably elevated or hopelessly delusional? There is not. I just have a good grip on the reality that has a permanent grip on all of us. And I feel compassion for us in this. Amidst this human culture of ours that has confused itself and traumatized itself, and now struggles desperately with itself. My comprehending these things does not make me elevated beyond your reach. It makes me grounded in reality, which is where you exist, where you come from. And this makes me the very opposite of delusional. Even if you do not feel convinced of the eternal nature of all this, even if you do still suspect that we are temporary passing things here, you can still recognize that we are all sensitive and ultimately only wishing to feel better rather than worse from moment to moment. And here I am, being definitively suppressed online for saying things as simple and true as this. Human culture feels it has to suppress the saying of these things because they are so simple and true that literally anybody can understand them, which means that once everybody here is grounded in reality and no longer delusional, the human culture we are so familiar with will no longer be needed. The goal is not to become elevated above most everybody else here. It is not to transcend this human world. It is not to ascend beyond the reach of this physical plane. The goal, if one is to bring about that which feels better for one rather than worse, is to become grounded in the simple truths of reality, even as human culture does its best to keep you from this. Yes, it is true that there are higher mysteries, higher energies, higher consciousnesses, and what have you, because the operation of truth is infinite in all directions and it does not stop. But even when truth is operating, is iterating at higher orders of scale than we can directly perceive ourselves, vastly higher orders of speed and resolution than we can readily make sense of for ourselves, it is still the very same truths that are iterating at those higher, finer, faster scales. That which is alive is truth in iteration. It is sensitive, it is conscious, and it only wishes to feel better rather than worse.